Welcome back, everyone, to Innovative Agency. Great to be here with you again. It's Sharon Torek, and I'm really excited about the direction of today's conversation because it's a combination of a few things that I love, which is a bit of an entrepreneurial journey for an agency owner, as well as a corner of the agency world that we don't really talk too much about on the show, um, which is the ROI conversation you all have to have with your clients about the work that you do for them, particularly when it comes to digital media, and digital spending. And this is just from my perspective, kind of a tricky issue for agencies. It comes up a lot when we hear about churn because clients profess to be unhappy with the results they're getting and conversations get difficult. And Sam, maybe you're going to give us some therapy about how to make this all easier for the agencies that are listening today. So, Sam Piliero, founder of the Moonlighters, I'm really excited to be talking with you today.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm very excited to be here, and I hope I can give everyone a little bit of therapy on that.
Yeah. Um, so, all right, let's set the stage for a minute here. Your current business, which we'll talk
Yeah.
a little bit about how you got there, but your current business is highly focused on performance, specifically making ad spend primarily on Facebook and Google. Do I have that
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
Um, Return as much money into the pockets of your clients as possible. And that's probably music to every prospective client's ears out there. And we're going to talk in a little bit about how you can confidently represent that to them. But let's
Mhm.
talk a little first for a minute about how you got there.
Yeah.
You got agency side experience, client side experience. So what was your journey um,
Yeah.
to today?
Um, so basically, I was that kid growing up that was like, it's Saturday, so we have to have a lemonade stand, right? And like my grandma would tell me, she'd be like, you have to put the sign at the corner of the street where it's more traffic, right? I was that kid. And
Mhm.
I learned a lot from actually my grandmother, which was the early lemonade stands. We learned how to play poker together. I really understood like
Mhm.
economics early.
Mhm.
And the very quick version of this is that once I got into college, it was the same year Shopify became like a thing.
Mhm.
Actually, I think it was the first year they actually came out. And I started my first Shopify store and actually managed to sell that store. I sold hats online. And that was the start for me of like oh, there's something here, right? I could
Mhm.
make money, real money. And one thing led to the next where I walked out of college and I had an offer and I worked at VaynerMedia, Gary Vaynerchuk's agency. At the
Mhm.
time, they were still a very large agency, but the Vayner Commerce team, which was their e-commerce department, was just starting out. There was, I think, four people on the team. I think I was number four, number five on that team.
Okay.
Many people on that team have gone on to do some really, really cool things after. And that was the real like kick for me. We got to work with brands that I was like, stunned by a little bit, to be quite frank. And also some brands that were like new. I think we called them like engagers or something fun, like buzz brands, something fun like that.
Okay.
And one of those brands was Liquid IV. And Liquid IV at the time was a $30,000 per month business, or maybe $50,000 per month business. They were in no stores, right? You could basically, like, I remember taking home the product to my girlfriend, now wife, and being like, this stuff is good. And she was like, is it okay? Like, like, am I allowed?
I'm gonna
Um,
die if I drink
yeah,
this.
like, are you sure? And like, now it's like one of the most popular sports drinks, period, right? It's
Yeah.
one of the most, it's the number one packet sports drink or electrolyte drink on the market.
Yeah.
Um, so I was at Vayner for a few years, learned a lot, made some great connections, and I went over to BarkBox. And this is where this all kind of blends together and why the Moonlighters begins, which I'll get to in a moment.
Mhm.
At Bark, I was there for 3 years. It was a $150 million business when I started. When I left, I was a director of emerging channels there, which meant Facebook, Google, OTT, and TV. Um, when I left Bark 3 years later, they were a publicly traded company at peak $2.5 billion.
Mhm.
And that for me was obviously very validating. It was very good timing. And I left Bark on the very naive hunch that it's going to be real easy for me to start a business and an agency and such. And I always knew that was the route I was going to go. Things got a little too corporate for me. So I was like,
Okay.
time to go and have some fun. And at the time, I was working with around four clients on the side, and I was moonlighting, hence the name, the Moonlighters. It was literally me
Uh,
moonlighting on the side.
got it.
And when I started the Moonlighters officially, like when we incorporated officially, um, I called it and continued to call it the Moonlighters because I wanted to create an experience for customers, for clients that we actively work with, that was as similar as the experience that I was able to give to the customers that I was, quote, moonlighting for. And that's kind of the thesis. It's kind of how things started. That was when the momentum started. We had four clients. We turned that four into about 10 by the end of that year, 20 by the end of that next year, 40 by the end of that year. And today, I don't say the exact number, but we're coming right up on 100 this year. So we've
Mhm.
grown real fast because we've kept that same thesis in play, of just trying to legitimately provide the best service possible and not compromising on quality.
So what about the client experience when you were a moonlighter
Mhm.
originally? Were you trying to emulate when you decided to formally start your business, and that have you carried forward today? What is it about the client experience that you want agency owners to
Mhm.
understand, that creates the magic, that creates the retention, the lack of churn, the
Mhm.
happiness with results, etc.? What were you trying to emulate?
Yeah, I think I should say here too, like for any agency owner listening, or really just any like maybe brands listening, we still have churn. We still have some clients who are not happy,
Mhm.
but thankfully the majority are happy. The majority stay, right? We have a very healthy business because of this. Basically, what I decided on my side was I'd worked agency, I'd worked brand. I'd worked with a lot of agencies, and I recognize that if you're an expensive agency, you can afford to have an A plus team at multiple levels, right? So
Mhm.
you could have an incredible director, you could have incredible specialists who are in the platforms managing the media. That's going to cost someone $30 to $40,000 a month. That's what VaynerMedia at the time was costing people.
Mhm.
Um, and that makes sense for a business that is $100 million business. Total
Mhm.
sense, actually. It's the best ROI you could possibly have. On the flip side, it makes no sense for a $5 million business at all. It actually is not feasible. Not many $5 million businesses are cranking out $50,000 in profit to even afford that.
Right.
So when I looked at the clients that I was working with on the side, they were mostly $1 to $10 million revenue businesses, and therefore they had no chance at affording at all a $30,000 engagement.
Mhm.
What I sold was one thing really well for a limited amount of time, basically, to a specifically smaller market. So
Okay.
when I built the agency, we said, or I should say, I said, like, let's not let's not create these layers that a typical agency has. Forget account management, forget specialists, forget these media buyers overseas. No, let's just hire really good single person that does both the client communication and the execution in the platforms,
Mhm.
right? So you have a high leverage person that admittedly is crushing my margin compared to what I could get away with if I hired people overseas. Um,
Mhm.
but instead, we have better results, meaning we actually collect better performance fees. And then B, we actually have lower churn rates, which means we don't need to spend so much money trying to acquire customers just to stay in business.
Mhm. Where are you finding these unicorns who are equally proficient at being able to successfully manage client relationships as well as show up with the technical and strategy
Yeah.
skills that they need for the performance part of the engagement to go well?
This is by far the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Nothing's even close to this hard. We have clients, thankfully, that are on waiting lists to join. We have everything else feels like it's a 9 out of 10 or greater. This
Mhm.
one thing is the hardest thing because just like you said, they are unicorns. So where do we find them? We find them through A, normal recruiting methods, and we find them through friends and referrals.
Mm,
Friends and referrals have the highest hit rate for us by a long shot.
mhm.
There's something about being good and being talented that attracts more good, talented people. And while it's still really hard, we've actually gotten significantly better at it. Our recruiter, our head of recruitment the other day told me that it takes we hire 1 in 2,500 applicants right now. It's a pain.
It is painful.
Okay.
I mean, that is a lot of credentials to
Yeah.
sort through and a lot of human capital. I mean, I'm sure you're
Yep.
using technology to streamline parts of it, but
Yep.
that's a lot of conversations, a lot of people vetting. And would you say that's one of the things that you, as the founder, are still spending most of your time on day to day?
We have an amazing head of recruitment that handles the itty bitty parts of it that
Yeah.
scale. Like use 2,500 applicants.
Yeah.
That's a lot of itty bitty.
But you're
Um,
making the final decisions, I'm guessing, in most
I'm
cases.
always making the final decision. The last
Yeah.
call is always with me.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we have a good process enough where I'm not spending 20 hours a week on recruitment. I'm probably spending like 5, 6 hours a week on recruitment, which
Mhm.
feels like a lot, but probably could go even higher.
Mhm. So, having a long wait list of clients, you mentioned that you might have 99 problems, but your funnel doesn't seem to be one of them, or and that's great. Um, it feels to me like maybe it's one of the byproducts of you having been very specific about the type of client you want to work with and the suite of things that you
Yeah.
will do for them. Did that just hone itself over time, or was that something that
Yeah.
you discerned based on your background, or how did you sort of form those swim lanes or those boundaries around those things?
Yeah. I was really, really, really good coming out of Bark at Facebook ads and Google ads. Like that's just what I'm truly good at.
Hmm.
So that made the initial like training and all the pieces that needed to go into the puzzle here obvious. Actually, there was no other choice, I guess. Um, and admittedly, in like year one, like we tried some other stuff. Like we were like, yeah, we could do TikTok. Yeah, we could do email. Like, oh yeah, sure. It's easy. Who cares, right? No, it's super hard. And it's really easy if you do it once and maybe twice, and maybe 3 times. It's really hard if you do it 50 times at the same time. So we refined down, we learned. Thankfully, actually, many of those clients that still have multiple services are actually still with us, even though we don't offer that service anymore. So it's just a natural learning process, right? I think you have to try some of those things, especially early, to really figure out what you're specifically good at. And then once you figure out, like, hey, this is what we can repeat, then you could really just like push, like, let's do it again. Let's find another person that has this skill set. Let's take on more clients that are of these qualifications. And you could just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And when I say rinse and repeat, I actually don't mean rinse at all. I just mean like grow, grow, grow.
Hmm. What are you looking for in term, because at this point you can afford to pick and choose a little bit given on the supply and demand at the firm
Sure.
right now. What obviously you're looking for clients who it's obvious to me, maybe it isn't obvious, but who think there's a lot of room for improvement in terms of their growth. But are they coming to you mostly because they want to grow organically or otherwise, or because the things they're currently doing are not returning enough value for the investment that they're making? Is it usually one or the other, or a little bit of both?
It's such a mix. It's such a mix. Like you don't go and find a new agency if you're really happy with your current agency, right? So
Right.
when we're running ads, like the expectation is performance, like very straightforward. Um, and I think on ours, well, the beautiful part about that is it's super measurable, right? You could look in the ad platform, you could say, we did better than you were doing before, we're worth the investment or not. And thankfully, the majority of the time, our average, will just give you the average for the last year. Average brand that works with us sees a 41% improvement in profit
Mm.
compared in the first 90 days compared to the previous 90 days. Um, Now that's like a beautiful metric to
Yeah, it's
hit.
a crazy metric.
But there's outliers, right, on both sides, right? There's some people that in their first 90 days grow by 15%. There's some people in the first 90 days who've grown, I won't hype it up too much, but like hundreds of like they've doubled, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think, on our side, when we try to think about like who we actually want to work with, one of the factors that we look for the most is like who's the good founder? Who's the good like CEO on the other side or head of marketing on the other side that just understands the language that we speak, that
Mm,
knows that this isn't a magic bullet every time, but they know, we're screwing up over here, we're not doing things right over here. Like we want just pros to handle this, and they
mhm,
know that they're handed to us. Trust is built, performance gets better, even if it's just on the low side of better. But they know that they can now work on other things. The brands that we don't find true success in are the brands that are so obsessed with performance yesterday only, or brands that have never handed off their media to anyone else, or expect a result in a week. This is a hard process, right? We wouldn't
mhm.
exist if this was easy.
What about access to the C-suite at your clients? Is this something that you insist upon so that you know there's alignment
Mhm.
between marketing, sales, and the other, constituents in the C-suite who have to, because you're working with very entrepreneurial companies, it feels like,
Yes.
right? There. And so are you engaged with their entire leadership's team given the size? Because I can imagine that a lot of what I see from my perspective, counseling agencies is particularly when we work with agencies who serve enterprise size clients,
Mhm.
nobody within the enterprise, within the brand, they're not talking to each other. I mean, it's been very clear on a number of occasions they haven't even
Yeah.
discussed things amongst themselves until you get them all in a room together or on a call together. And so, is that part of your MO that you have access to the entire leadership team of your clients, or how do you gauge whether that's important or not?
Yeah. We actually won't put out an offer to anyone
Mhm.
without having that person go through the full strategy call, which is about an hour long call.
Okay.
My simple piece of this is like, if you can't sit on an hour call and ask questions to the person you're going to hire for a long period of time,
Mhm.
then you're not serious about this.
Mhm.
Um, Now, it also is a natural piece that when we're working with businesses that are typically like $1 to $10 million in revenue, we have some greater and we have some like just under a million, but
Mhm.
in that range, you almost naturally work heavily with the C suite, heavily with the owners, because
Right.
there's not 40 people at the company.
Mhm.
Now, that said, we have a few companies that literally do have 40, 50 people and they're significantly larger. And like, yeah, we signed with the CEO and owner and they got buy in, but now we just work with their director of marketing and it's kind of like a handoff.
Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
So, one thing that I said to you when we were getting acquainted prior to our interview right
Mhm.
now was that I found it impressive how much time you've clearly spent putting education out into the world about how moonlighting does what it does. I
Yeah.
mean, you're kind of very, not kind of, you are very transparent about Keys to the Castle,
Mhm.
and we'll drop a link to the YouTube channel for everybody who's
Sure.
listening in the show notes. But um, it's I learned a few things just in the amount of time I spent going down the rabbit hole and
Mhm.
watching the videos. And I'm not a marketer. I represent them,
Mhm. Mhm.
but it was, and so I'm wondering, um, was this a strategic decision you made to build the brand of the
Yeah.
business, or is this just something you love to do because you love your craft? Or talk a little bit about why you've invested so much time in sharing the art and science of the work that
Yeah.
you actually do.
I'll say first that like if I had it my way, I would just sit behind the computer and run ads all day and just run spreadsheets. And I would not record videos and I would have minimal conversations. And while I might come off a little bubbly and stuff, like I could only do a few of these period until I'm like, I need to go like do something else. I spend the first 6 hours of my day like in sheets for the most part and doing things that are very technical that I like.
So this is a stretch for you personally, then,
Yeah, it's
taking this
it's
amount of
it's
time to
for
do this.
sure. But
So
like
why do you do it then?
I do it very simply because I know that it is objectively the most straight path to acquiring more customers on our side, hands down. I've no doubt that that is the best way that we can do this, and then we can have influence on the market, and then we can actually shift how the market potentially thinks as well. And when you look at the landscape of people who do kind of what I do on YouTube, um, you very unfortunately see a lot of people who have not actually done the thing.
Mhm.
And I will never call out names. Like there's some great actors, by the way. That's a wrong word to use here. There's
Yeah.
some great people that actually do great work also. But then there's a lot of people who honestly don't do good work and say a lot. And
Mhm.
every single piece of advice that you'll ever hear come out of my YouTube channel or every strategy is either A, from my past experience, or B, from my current experience with brands here at the Moonlighters or at Bark or at VaynerMedia, right?
Mhm.
These are like legitimately things that I've not just like, oh yeah, we tested this in a, no, no, no. This is like, hey, 40 brands are doing this right now, and I know the data and I know it works.
Mhm.
Um, and I've just taken this super transparent approach to actually answer your question of like, I don't think many people, maybe a few, but I don't think many people who are as public as I am could actually compete with that IP, so to speak.
Mhm.
And I don't mind sharing it because it's not the knowledge of this that gets you the result. It's the execution of this that gets the result. Right. And if
Mhm.
this was so easy and anyone could copy my YouTube channel, then we would have no clients.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I totally understand your perspective, and so from your point of view, do you feel like at this point, given how the company is evolving, that sort of your personal thought leadership out there is gonna continue to be the main driver? Or do you plan on sort of transitioning over building a brand building a brand for moonlighting versus for Sam?
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of founders who are listening are not always sure whether to, and you always hear conflicting advice about, do I focus on my personal brand as the founder and thought leader,
Yeah.
driving the agency or the organization, or do we focus on building the agency's brand and positioning, or should we be doing both equally? And I don't know that there's ever a right answer, but I'm curious about
Yeah.
your perspective.
I just don't know the other way, I think. I think
Okay.
I think a lot of people might have an idea of what it looks like to build an agency like branding side, but kind of do it from a personal branding
Hmm.
perspective, like in a weird way.
Hmm.
I you could probably tell by me just saying it, I don't even know what that looks like.
Hmm.
But I've seen the other way be executed many times. I saw it firsthand at VaynerMedia. Like
For sure.
no one follows VaynerMedia's Instagram. Like really, like but
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk has like 10 million followers, right?
Yeah.
And of course, those are not 10 million people who could buy from him, but that's the reputation that he's created for VaynerMedia. So I
Yeah.
think these are just one and the same at this point. And my like, I might be creating my own competitors here, but like my advice is like, if you have a unique mechanism, if you have something that you do that's special, you should probably tell people because how else are they going to know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Well,
I don't I don't know another way.
no, I mean, you're telling them and you're showing them, and it's, and you're not just doing it in 60-minute or 60-second sound bites either. To
Mhm,
the extent that you've apparently made the decision to actually sort of build a training program, which I know
mhm,
is new, to Moonlighters, but because it's my show and because I have a passion for agency owners who leverage their IP in new and different ways to create new and
mhm.
different revenue streams. You're on the hot seat now, so I get to ask you about what led you to decide to create this. It's not a training academy. I don't know what you're calling it on your end, but it
You
is
could call it a program, like
yeah,
call
you're
it a
building a
course, call it a program.
cohort
Yeah.
of trainees and why'd you decide to do it? And what are you hoping to accomplish with it?
Yeah, so this was the itch that needed to be scratched. We just had so many comments, so many people reach out,
Oh,
and we put out a feeler. Basically, we sent out an
oh,
email
got it.
saying,
Okay.
"Hey, we're thinking about doing this. If you're interested, fill out this form."
Yeah.
And we sent that to a total list size of 600 people and posted on a written YouTube post, which doesn't really get many views. And we got about 600 people on the wait list for it. And I was like, oh, there's actual interest here.
Right.
So what we did was we launched in a single cohort, meaning if you're listening to this now, the doors are 100% closed and you can't get in until we decide, if ever, to reopen.
Mhm.
And I basically sat behind the camera in a very raw format. So YouTube videos are polished, right? They're packaged. We make sure we execute on the points very clearly, make sure everything is dialed in, very short, very concise, 10, 20 minutes. This, I took the approach of let me just get behind the camera and give everyone what's in my brain at this moment. And so far, the feedback has been really solid. We took
Mhm.
on close to 100 brands in total. We actually took on, I think it was 85 brands in total. We only had the doors open for a short period of time. And two people have been dissatisfied, and we've refunded their money to them, right?
Yeah.
And from my perspective, that's a good signal as a first attempt at something like this.
Right.
Not really big on like the hey, let's make a course and sell the course and sell the course and sell the course. But there was a lot of people knocking at the door, and I just wanted to really understand if this is something we can do. Um, and yeah, so far it's been a new but pretty well received experience.
And did you decide to do it because you wanted to create some access to your expertise for people who weren't like good fits for the agency, or did you want to do it to sort of to create a lead stream for the agency's full services? What were you thinking when you
Oh,
decided to
yeah,
devote your
it's a
time?
great question. It's a little bit of both. First off, like we made money on it, right? So like I'm happy to make like that's cool. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
And it obviously that's a value trade, right? So ideally everyone that paid for the program is making 10 times more money on what they learned from within. Um Now, yes, lead consideration is a thing of like we're gonna give people like the under the behind the curtain view of things. So therefore they'll even be more excited to potentially work with us in the future. Um, it's a little bit of a combination, but I can't stress like this was just a test for me. It was something new. I
Mhm.
wanted to try something different out.
Okay. So I want to really get your perspective
Mhm.
on how digital advertising is now or will be changing in the near future since we're all about looking around the corner here on
Yeah.
the show. Um, Findability is changing. AI is
Mhm.
influencing how consumers look for solutions or products or things. And I'm sure you're doing a lot of thinking over at Moonlighting about how this is going to affect your craft and the art and science behind it. So, what do you think that agency owners who are trying to manage media or demand generation for their clients, what do you think they're going to be seeing over the next year to two, and in terms of how AI is going to make findability different on
Yeah.
the internet?
I think that there's actually a little bit of a plateau right now
Hmm.
with AI for the first time in 5 years, 4 years of this. Um, and I'm actually kind of happy about that for a second because it's felt like, just as an owner, and I think probably so many people can relate to this, like it's always felt like you're either A, you're behind, or like, should I even try to do this thing because it's gonna be outdated in 6 weeks, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, but outside of that, the landscape has definitely changed. GPT, chat in general, has just become a thing that people use. It is a tool in the toolkit. It is my equivalent of like when TikTok came out, right? Like when
Mhm.
TikTok came out, we lost people on the Meta platforms. We lost people on Facebook. We lost people on Instagram.
Mhm.
And I think it's just kind of one of those in the fold at first.
Mhm.
Now they're going to tie into everything. and everyone's going to build for OpenAI and Claude and all the others, right? They're all going to build for each other. So from my perspective, from ecom, just like search findability, there's just going to be different avenues to reach customers. And I think the good thing about most e-commerce now is that they're built on Shopify. And I think Shopify is going to enable that. We've seen it already. We're going to enable that in OpenAI and other platforms as well via MCP.
Mm,
Um, so I'm like more on like the not overly bullish right now for what's going on, but not really scared at all.
mm,
I think that there was a period where like there was like that headline that floated around that Zuckerberg was like, Meta is going to be fully automated by 2026, and you're just going to be able to put in your website and it's going to be done. And
mm.
I was at a Facebook conference about 3 weeks ago now, and they literally led the conference with this is like propaganda. Like this is not happening. Like this is
Yeah,
completely fake. Don't worry about it, everyone. This is a rumor.
mm.
Um, and yeah, it was an agency conference, so they want to tell people that. And I
Of
really
course.
think that these platforms are just going to continue to use AI um, to enhance what is currently what you're able to do, right? So they're going to be multipliers. I don't think they're going to be removals of things and replacements of things.
Mhm.
Does that make
Do you think
sense?
do you think it's going to change what works or the effectiveness of the current tactics that your team is employing to get performance results for your clients?
So it's a great question. Um, I
Might
think
be an
like
unfair question, but I'm just
no,
curious.
it's not an unfair question at all. It's a good question. That's why I pause on it too, because I want to answer it properly. Um, I think that when we think about what works, I definitely think it has more to do with consumer behavior or
Mhm,
platform like functionality than it does with like different like AI generative texts. I think that what we're going to see a lot of is like generative AI in Facebook and Meta in general,
mhm,
which is going to be much more of like a play on like if I'm selling, just use like this pen for example. Like if I'm selling this pen and I have it like this and I'm smiling, then the generative AI is going to be able to change my background. It's going to be able to change the color of the pen. It's going to be able to change my hat. It's going to be able to change my smile from a frown. And I think those iterations are going to be rapid. So I think we're going to move a little bit in a different direction for creative and how that's going to land.
mhm,
And from my perspective, actually, you if you think about media buying in general, it's three buckets. It is planning, it is production, and it is execution. So
mhm,
planning is what creative do we need, creative briefs, tell me what we should make more of. Production is the making of the creative assets, and then execution is uploaded to the platform and optimize, execute and optimize. And that's a flywheel. So when you're in execution, optimize, and analysis, that feeds back into planning. And I think every brand that's serious should take production and do it for themselves. You should know how to create your own content. You should also do it and understand who you should hire to create content for you. So you can get really, really, really good at that. And
mhm.
then planning and execution could be handled in house if you want, or we're on an agency podcast here and I run an agency. So,
Thank you.
or it could be handled by agencies, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's very interesting. I mean, the from a risk management perspective, you think about the IP issues and the data privacy issues, and that's my role in it day in day
Yeah.
out. But I don't think as much about, but I do wonder about are the effectiveness ratings, are the effectiveness levels of the current things that work going to remain the same, or our strategy is going to have to be adaptive? And I think the
Mhm.
fair answer's got to probably be we don't know yet. We don't know until we know,
Oh, yeah.
because
We don't know.
um, do you think we are close to seeing some of these AI platforms monetize advertising? They're all saying no, because I don't think they're ready to do it yet. But the smart money has got to be, in my opinion, nobody else's, on yes, because the opportunity and the real estate are just too vast, I think, for them to turn away from it. But I'm curious what you think.
I am pretty conflicted on this. I think yes, they'll do it. But at
Mhm.
the same time, I think they're going to make so much more money on the other stuff that this is not going to be a primary vehicle for them.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Like OpenAI is making hand over fist money right now,
Yeah.
not from advertising.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the general consumer search is an easily monetizable experience today. Now, whether that's GPT-6, GPT-7, GPT, who knows? Maybe it gets better. And I would actually lean more on the side of there'll be like ChatGPT free will be an ad supported format and pro will not. That's what I could see just naturally happening.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense. There's a good argument to be made, I suppose, that when the data you're taking is free because you're stealing it from the people who
Yeah,
created it, then you don't need to worry about advertising revenue. But, that sort of striation between a free model that is advertising supported and a premium one that doesn't need to be makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
exactly. Cause like what no one really thinks about, like the general consumer, is that like by being a free user of GPT,
Yeah.
you are costing them money, but they're also, first off, they're using lower models for you that are very
Mhm.
much cheaper to run. And then
Mhm.
B, you are providing incredible feedback on how to make the better models better.
Oh, yeah, you're the product. I mean, if you're
Correct.
not paying for it, then the product is you. That's
Yeah.
absolutely the way. It's always been true of social media. It's equally true
Hmm.
in my view of the AI platforms as
Hmm.
well. Well,
100%.
I have learned so much from just a few brief minutes with you. I want to thank you, Sam, so much for sharing your expertise and sort of your journey as well, because it's a great story just from a business building perspective, but also the intentionality behind some of the decisions that
Hmm.
you're making on an ongoing basis is really impressive. And so, if people want to find out more about moonlighting or about how to reach out to you to learn more, what are some of the best places for them to do that?
For sure. First off, thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
I also enjoyed this conversation. And yeah, easiest way to find me is search my full name, Sam Piliero, on YouTube. That's where I post the most. You could also just type in like Sam Facebook ads or something like that, and I will probably show up,
Yeah.
thankfully. Um, and yeah, you can go to the moonlighters.com to check out who we work with, that whole jam.
Mm.
Um, that's really it. I'm an easy
Yeah, and I
guy.
would say to anybody listening, and I don't do this very often with our guests, but if you have team members at your agency who need to learn more or get a deeper understanding about Facebook and Google advertising, the YouTube channel is just a wealth of knowledge. So even if you just start there to learn more about the art and science of it, time well spent. And so, Sam Polero, thank you so much for joining me today on Innovative Agency. Really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you, Sharon. You too.
My pleasure. Thanks everybody else for joining us as well, and we will see you on the next episode. And until then, everybody stay well.